Welcome to part 3 of our blood sugar dysregulation series, where we discuss the nutritional and lifestyle interventions that are helpful for blood sugar management. Let's start with carbohydrate intake. Those with blood sugar disorders may need to limit their carbohydrate intake. The best way to determine how much carbohydrate you can tolerate is by tracking your pre- and post-meal blood sugar with a device called a glucometer. It's very important that you visit your primary care physician before you purchase a glucometer, as they can provide you with instructions on how to use it. You should eat the amount of carbohydrate at each meal that allows you to stay within the following parameters after consuming that meal. 1 hour after a meal, your blood sugar should remain below 140 milligrams per deciliter, and 2 hours after a meal, your blood sugar should fall below 120 milligrams per deciliter. Remember that when we talk about carbohydrate intake, it's essential to differentiate between refined and complex carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates have a much more impactful influence on your blood sugar and are known to influence insulin resistance, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, obesity, and more. Complex carbohydrates, however, are much better for blood sugar management. They contain fiber, vitamins, and nutrients that are not only helpful for our physiology, but the way that fiber works in the digestive tract is such that it allows us to absorb glucose at a decreased pace by comparison to refined carbohydrates. Therefore, I recommend that we all take time to incorporate organic, biodynamic, complex carbohydrates in our diet, such as fruits, roots, vegetables, and more. Secondly, eating more protein can be helpful for those with blood sugar dysregulation. Higher protein diets have a stabilizing effect on blood sugar. Aim for between 25 and 30% of total calories from protein, or approximately 125 to 150 grams per day, based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Now, the caveat or contraindication here would be if you already have kidney disease. Higher protein diets can be an issue for those with kidney disease. Protein intake at 25 to 30% of calories has never been shown to cause kidney disease, but can definitely impact the health of a kidney disease patient if that patient has already been diagnosed with kidney disease. Thirdly, blood sugar dysregulation is benefited by the consumption of fermented foods and fermentable fibers. Poor gut health contributes to poor metabolic health. Be sure to eat plenty of fermented foods like sauerkraut, yogurt, kimchi, kefir, or kombucha on a regular basis to maintain a healthy gut. You'll also want to eat a diet rich in fermentable fibers. These are fibers that help to feed your gut bacteria and are present in starchy and non-starchy vegetables. Resistant starch is also helpful and particularly useful for improving insulin sensitivity. You may supplement with unmodified potato starch, a source of resistant starch, by consuming 3 to 4 tablespoons of it daily mixed with water or added to other foods. Now, for somebody who's just starting to consume resistant starch, I recommend doing so very slowly, as resistant starch can cause quite a few gut symptoms in those who are not used to it, so dose accordingly. Other sources of resistant starch include white potatoes, cooked and cooled for 24 hours, unripe bananas, tapioca flour, and dehydrated green plantains. Altering your food intake timing can also be very helpful for blood sugar dysregulation. If you have high blood sugar, you may notice improved blood sugar control when you fast intermittently. Intermittent fasting involves skipping a meal, typically breakfast, and can sometimes include extended periods of fasting. You'll also want to avoid snacking, as snacking can worsen blood sugar control in those with high blood sugar. If you have low blood sugar, you'll want to eat every 2 to 3 hours. As a general rule, don't go more than 3 hours without something to eat. You can choose to incorporate this into your life as 3 meals with snacks in between, or if you prefer, 6 smaller meals throughout the day. You'll also want to make sure you eat breakfast within 30 minutes of waking up and include at least 30 grams of protein during breakfast. Lastly, those with low blood sugar often do well with a snack before bed, as this can help stabilize blood sugar overnight and prevent sleep disruptions. Of course, physical activity is paramount to blood sugar regulation. It is important to move throughout the day in addition to getting regular exercise. This means standing, perhaps using a standing or treadmill desk, walking, using the stairs, or just overall being more active in your everyday life. You should aim for about 10,000 steps per day through your daily activity. It is also important to aim for 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week, let's say jogging, yoga, or dancing, 75 minutes of vigorous activity, so running, Zumba, and playing sports, or 30 sets of high-intensity exercise per week, such as sprinting, jumping rope, or resistance training, or some combination of the above. A combination of aerobic exercise and strength training is superior to either type of exercise alone for improving blood sugar control. Of course, getting a good night's sleep each and every night is vital for blood sugar regulation. Sleep deprivation can lead to insulin resistance and poor blood sugar control. Make sleep a priority by giving yourself enough time to sleep, and practice good sleep hygiene by avoiding blue light at night, using blackout shades or an eye mask, and getting sun exposure in the morning when you wake up. It is vital to consider the impact of sleep apnea and sleep deprivation on metabolic syndrome as well, because studies have shown that patients with moderate to severe sleep apnea were benefited by 3 months of continuous positive airway pressure, which resulted in reduced blood pressure and potentially reversed some of the metabolic syndrome abnormalities that are found in those with sleep apnea. Finally, we have to consider stress management as paramount to blood sugar regulation. Chronic stress reduces blood sugar control, promotes inflammation, and leads to low levels of cortisol, which can disrupt blood sugar control. While the benefits of stress management can take longer to manifest than other recommendations that I've listed here, they are well worth the wait. Practice meditation, tai chi, yoga, deep breathing, etc. on a daily basis to help control your blood sugar. Thank you all for riding with me through part 3 of our blood sugar dysregulation series. I want to sincerely thank you for your attention and your focus during this paramount presentation, as blood sugar regulation is absolutely essential to long-term vitality and well-being, which is thus what allows us to lead with compassionate action and relentless self-love. As you move through these changes and you start incorporating some of the lifestyle habits that I've mentioned here, please feel free to reach out. If you have any questions or concerns, I am here at your beck and call, and I couldn't be more grateful to have shared this information with you. It's a sincere pleasure to have been through my own journey of blood sugar dysregulation and moved through that with grace, and have been able to actually reclaim my health and manage my blood sugar long term. And I have a lot of wisdom, a lot of things to share with you as a means of supporting you in your journey and allowing you to flourish into your most potent self. So when you have a chance, reflect on this video, reflect on these pieces of information, and I can't wait to serve, connect, and work out with you soon. Peace.